Hello and welcome to 10th Point Tournament. My name is Luca, and in the booth today with me is Lowman02 as always. Hey, how's it going, Lowman?
Hey, how you guys all
Today
doing?
with me
This is
is
Lowman02 here to join you
Lowman02.
guys for some Canadian Highlander gameplay, and looking forward to having a good time, man.
Yeah, we're doing a little bit different today as we have a dedicated tech. We have Gosmet running tech for us today, so hopefully things will be a little bit more smooth than the couple previous times, just until Red Mage returns from his exile. Um, we are currently generating round one matches, and as soon as that has gotten up and running, we will be going ahead.
Yeah, so I actually got a pretty full house today. Got 10 players in here just from talking to the players for a very short time frame about deck archetypes that we can expect to see. Looks like a decent diversity of different decks. Although of note, at least to my reckoning from just talking to players, not a massive showing of aggressive decks. May have some black-red in there, but we'll see.
Yeah, we have only two aggro decks I can see, and both of them are Rakdos.
Yeah.
So not a huge variety, as you say.
No, it's kind of interesting to see Rakdos get some time in the sun. I played against Blahguy a couple times. I think they got a pretty good build of Rakdos there. But yeah, it'll be interesting because we do have some Vault in here. We've got some more like aggro control decks, some blue what I call blue bullshit decks. Excuse the language, but and it's interesting to see that kind of metagame. And probably right for aggressive decks. Our tech Gosmet, buddy, you need to get back in there with red deck wins. Keep it clean. So who are we watching first today, man?
We are the first feature match will be Mink versus Blast Shark.
Okay, so we're gonna watch the best mana-based Goblins pilot in the format, Minksterella. For anyone who doesn't know, Minksterella is a pretty dedicated community member and player of Goblins, and they have some very powerful cards in their deck that also come at a bit of risk as far as mana fixing. But they're very good Goblins pilot. I make fun of them. What's Blast Shark on today?
What?
What's Blast Shark on today? I don't have deck list in front of me.
Blast Shark, I have right in front of me. I have not written it down, but I wanted to see this matchup. Blast Shark was on Time Pod, not Time Pod, Walk Pod, like Tempo, Simic Tempo, against this Rakdos Goblin aggro deck.
Yeah, I think that game can be interesting. It'll be interesting to see, right? Because Goblins is a little bit so for the folks out there watching, just to kind of give like a little bit of the tail of the tape on like the matchup itself. Goblins is a slightly slower variety of kind of like red deck wins that relies on independently weaker cards that altogether have a higher synergistic effect to allow you to win the game. Which means that point removal and interaction at that level can be disruptive to the deck to a point where it's much slower than red deck wins, for instance. Which traditionally, like blue green tempo is going to have challenges versus red deck wins. So I think it will be a more evenly paired matchup than like say like just a pure burn deck versus blue green tempo. But I also think it can still be probably slight favor towards goblins. But definitely a game for sure.
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting to see the placement of goblins too, because like goblins is one of those decks that like does play more like a mid-range deck in some games than it does an aggressive deck, despite thinking like a bunch of one-drop goblins and whatnot. So it's kind of one of those decks that like can keep decks like red deck wins, death and taxes in check. I think it does have the tools to kind of fight against those decks, but we'll kind of see how it does in a more of a blue and combo based metagame. I think against like the vault decks, it'll be challenged, but very cool deck. Both of them are. And then you start talking like Simic Sorensen, think probably closer to like your Delver decks in like Legacy, pretty similar to that, except a few less colors. We got TRM in the chat there. When are you coming back, buddy? When are you coming back to us? Looks like we're probably just a few minutes out, guys.
TNM is having mic issues.
Ah.
Or stability issues.
Well, it makes sense. I think we're probably a couple minutes out here on this. The cameras getting set up, the technical components of the stream getting set up, so we can actually jump into some games. And we should be good to go. But yeah, pretty wide variety of decks that we're going to get to check out today.
We are having some more usual technical difficulties, and I'm just trying to frantically get some correct pairings going.
Do we want Mink to be in the main chat for this, or should I push him out?
Yeah, until the match has actually been set up, Mink should stay here.
Okay.
Along, of course, with Blahguy.
Okay.
So because again, we are standing in for Red Mage, and so we don't have access to the usual resources. We're doing all of this of personal accounts, and so Google Hangouts is notoriously bad at connecting people. So if I request for you to call to have a hangout, then it's a coin toss really whether or not it'll actually go through. Like, this is the kind of technology we are working with.
Yeah, no, it is what it is. And some of it too. I mean, like some of the things probably could look at from just a stream perspectives possibly. All right, what do we got here?
And so I am currently shipping all the email addresses to Gosmet so we can set up.
Yeah. No, he's shooting me a note right now, trying to get me on the share screen. I'm not a Google Calls person either. It's some of these are pretty tough to set up. I think honestly the easiest answer to most of it is just get a good weight screen for streaming. Because it's time intensive. But yeah, on my end, just so you're tracking, Luke, and for the fans out there, I'm watching stream right now, so I'll be watching hands probably slightly delayed. So if I make some calls that don't make as much sense because of delay and lack of knowledge of possible draws, I may be 3 to 4 seconds off on my end, but I think still probably pretty capable of giving some decent input on the games. Yeah, hopefully we'll get started here relatively soon.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So in recent history, Time Bolt, Blue-Black Time Bolt took down the Yellow Jacket 2019 year end, which is pretty cool to see. I think to give some side commentary on that, it was kind of interesting to see that metagame. I don't know what do you think on the metagame that they had up there, Luca?
In the championship, it was
just the 8 decks that were in that. What did you think of that? Those decks.
I thought that we would see what you call more of the personal decks that through the various formats we have come to associate with these high-level players.
Yeah.
But a lot of people went against the grain, so to say, like playing decks that they're not known for, maybe to throw their opponents off. That's
so
really
I
the only.
I think it was more just the metagame is interesting right now, especially like at I think if you're in a place where you want to win the games you're in, like to the highest extent possible, I think there is likely some change that will happen to kind of balance this out. But I think there are probably some best or most right decks right now. And for the fans out there, I'm speaking like Breach Storm, Underworld Breach, I think is a big shakeup card. I do think, not being qualified to say this, that it will happen, but I think that we will see it probably catch a point at some point in time. I think we'll see Storm really uptick a bit, because it's interesting talking to like Arakasi and a few other folks in Discord after the event. I don't think the two best decks made it to the finals. And that's not to take anything away from the players that made it to the finals. I think the best decks that were available were probably Storm decks. But you really saw kind of a divide between like the Storm decks and the decks that compete the Storm decks. So not a ton of great mid-range options kind of in there.
Yeah.
So I think you'll probably see changes based on that. But I think for if that event, I think, because it is a competitive casual format. I think the competitive, in that sense, kind of comes first because they're showcasing the format, kind of like what it's about, at least for the folks who developed it, who play it up there. They want to go in and have the best shot of winning. So, I mean, for Ben to jump in with eggs, like it'd be sweet to see him play it, but it's probably not going to win that event. It's tough, right? So, but yeah, I think in the pool available and kind of like with where the points stand now, I think some variety of Breach Storm is probably the strongest deck. I think Jer had the most powerful deck, I think, at the format. Now, if I were to play in that event myself, if I were able to, I would probably either be on Breach Storm or on some variety of Death and Taxes, probably white splash little black to beat that deck. So I think it was interesting. I think it was very interesting to kind of see how it ended up playing out. So
the one thing that I caught on most is the lack of actual taxes in Ben's Death and Taxes. It was mostly like a white weenie deck with a little bit of taxes in.
So it was funny. I was talking with Robin Sorensen like maybe 2 days before the event, a little bit like on Discord, not literally talking to the dude, but you're talking about like black-white taxes, and like I went through and kind of built the deck that I think would be the best suited in black-white, and you could even change it over to mono-white if you wanted to. And I really think that the taxes list you tend to see now, like the Eldrazi and taxes style lists that are more mid-rangey, aren't the most well suited for what I personally consider the best deck. I think you need more low-end aggressive power to close games more rapidly. So more like X1s at the one spot, like 2 and 3 ones. I think I like the way Ben went with it. And it was funny, right? Because he did have a lower curve deck, but he was honestly running more lands than like you tend to see in a lot of the current builds.
The match is about to begin.
There we go. All right, well, let's get off this commentary about where Highlander stands. Let's see some actual Highlander here. Let's get to it.
Blahguy versus Minksterella. And so...
Right. If I were a betting man, I think put slight favor toward the Goblins list, but I think both these decks are very powerful, or we're calling a walk pod. I thought we were saying this was blue-green tempo. If it's walk pod, I think it's even. If it's a walk pod,
it's walk pod. Yes.
Oh, okay. So if it's a walk pod, I think it's actually relatively even matchup. To be honest, that should actually be a better game. This should be a good game. I thought you said blue-green tempo. I'm like, ooh, it's a rough one.
That's because as I have seen it, it's the version that Blahguy is running is less combo and more like it has higher protection than I would run.
Okay.
So I always refer it as walk pod tempo.
Okay, I'm interested to see kind of how it ends up playing out then. If they're less in on the combos, I think
it's not much. It's a subtle difference, really.
Yeah, and then for viewers at home, because I'm watching stream right now, keep in mind the roles are a little switched right now. I think we're working through that, but Minksterella is actually on the bottom, despite the icon showing him on the top. So we'll get there on it.
Of course.
Yeah, actually the 1/2. The 1/2 is actually not bad turn one, because I mean Minksterella has quite a few powerful 1-drop goblins that can be problematic and or Mox and draw. I think he's on a double Mox split from having played them a bunch. Frenzied Goblin, not one to be scoffed at. This attack's aggressive.
Yeah, but he has the follow up with another 1/2 to block, and that's it's really
Tarmogoyf. Yeah, Tarmogoyf is one of the best. So like people talk about like anti-red cards. Tarmogoyf is probably the best red hate card in my opinion in almost any format. Card's real good against red decks, eh?
even here with only one thing in the bin, it's a formidable blocker, and really the instants, the sorceries, everything that red does just
Well, it's just the
feels.
threat of it too, right? It's just the threat of Tarmogoyf, and if you don't deal with it right away, which on goblins, like the
Here
opponent's
we
removal count's a
go.
little lower, so and at this point we can at a minimum get a land in the bin. Mental Note's going to get more.
It throws it to like out of red's reach at this point. Keeps the 1/2 back as a.
Probably just going to use it. They're probably going to use it to find a land that they need.
Yeah.
Be my guess. What's interesting here? I like this attack. I think that attack's good.
We have Mink with the Goblin Bushwhacker gets countered. It seems. Memory lapse.
Yeah.
That is a definite tempo swing. Mink is on the back heel.
I don't know. I think if I'm in Mink's spot, man, I don't mind having this card. I mean, it's going to get countered at some point anyways. I think I would rather have it get countered than have them have the ability to use their Elvish Reclaimer. And then the question is, do you block here? Because this, to me, foretells the possibility. I mean, he's going to just use it. But, yeah, you're just going to take 3 here. I don't think Mink's in the worst of spots. Because we're not using the Reclaimer here. The Reclaimer is just sitting back and doing nothing and tying up a mana. It's essentially Rashad Port, which is not bad, but Goblins is efficient. It's tough to Rashad Port, I think.
For certain. I just the beats that Mink is giving, he's receiving more in return.
Yeah, that's not untrue. That's not untrue, but I mean, if Mink does have an additional 1-drop, all right. So we have a hand now. We've got that's another Tarmogoyf if you want it. I think I would play a Tarmogoyf here. I think Tarmogoyf seems good. Now, what you don't want to see is like Forked Bolt or something along those lines to knock out the Noble plus the Phantasmal Image. That would be rough. Yeah, not looking great. But again, Tarmogoyf, quite a strong card against a red-based deck. So we're going Hi-Ho Silver again with the Goblin Bushwhacker. We know there's not a blank card, but a card that doesn't have a ton of initial impact in this matchup in Blast Shark's hand. And we don't really know what Mink's up to on their side. This is going to get targeted, which will kill it, which is kind of the downside to having played it out, right? You don't even have to pay the mana. Just target it. It dies. And then, yeah, not really great blocks. Okay,
that's right.
I like that trade. I think it's the right trade, but I think it's good for both players. I think it's right, and I think it's also good for Mink.
But like the things are progressing and fast, really. Like swings back and forth. It's a bit of a race.
I wouldn't be shocked. Okay, well, there's an argument because I do think that the pod deck is going to have inevitability over goblins. But then again, like Mink does have lords, he does have goblin sharpshooters, so maybe it is right just to keep on pressing advantage here. I think I would press, but there's also an argument to just hanging back as well and trying to build into that inevitability. Glen Elandra does stop some of the more powerful non-creature spells, obviously, on Mink's side. But the game's tight enough that, like, if we trade off with a couple Gobos on board, a Price of Progress could close it out, or this Tarmogoyf could just go all the way, just chomp down on these Gobos. But Mink does have the option to sit back and block for a long while. One of the interesting things about the Rakdos list of goblins for the viewers out there, and you haven't really seen this aspect to it yet, but you may be wondering when you see a card like Putrid Goblin, is that the deck is more, it has some Aristocrats elements to it, where you're using cards like Judith, the Scourge Diva, I think is her name, Goblin Sharpshooter, and those style of effects to kind of generate some value and do direct damage or creature elimination with your less optimal independent threats that have recursion capabilities like Putrid Goblin. Which is another cool kind of angle and a more mid-rangey kind of matchup that you've got right now. That could come into play. It does give it some edges in these games that go longer or more incremental. All right, Bogart and Shenanigans is an interesting one. That's going to be basically an Ancestral Recall next turn for Mink if he sees a Goblin off the top. But it's also going to be pretty good for Blast Shark too because they are Hellbent. So I do think that it's, I guess he probably wanted to have that get countered, like just trade it off.
Attrition? Like,
well, no, I meant he probably wanted the Bogart and shenanigans to get countered by the Glenalandra, expected it to, and then would attack him with the 2/2 and force a block that's not that favorable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try to bait.
Well, it's weird, right? Because I mean, it's not okay. Well, they have a very good. That abrade's pretty good. That can deal with a pod if a pod is what we indeed hit. Well, we hit a land.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what we end up seeing is like upkeep. We'll see what our draw is. If it's a Gobbo, actually, you have to do the braid first. So you braid, and then when Bogart and Shenanigans stacks, you hope to see a Goblin draw 3. We're probably abrading the Noble Hierarchy here. Right, we're attacking with both. All right, we're just going aggro. All right, you probably got to block the Goyf here, I would think. Yeah, just bide time. Bide some time. Yeah, I think they wanted the abrade. Okay, yeah, they do want the abrade, which kind of makes sense to me. I kind of like having a braid here too. But it is going to make attacks more interesting. I think now you just wait until their turn to braid pre-combat or beginning of combat to knock out this Glenalandra, or at least force a sack of the Glenalandra so that you don't take combat damage in the air. Very good chance that Blast Shark doesn't even attack with Tarmogoyf because they want to try to get the Exalted trigger on the Glen to put them, on a 2-turn clock as opposed to a 3-turn clock, possibly off of attacking with both. Ooh, Werebear. Yeah, you're not wrong. This deck does have some tempo-y cards in it.
Yeah. And really that is what's gonna tip the scales of favor, because if this was a normal run-of-the-mill hog pod, it would be maybe a more grindy, fair game.
I think if you get to this point in the game with pod, you're in a better spot than you are with like the tempo cards. I think in the early game, being able to have a few more like efficient, just big dum-dums like Tarmogoyf is going to benefit you in this matchup. But as the game goes longer, I think you could run into some issues. But I think it's a close matchup, to be honest. I think it's closer than some.
It's there's less of a chance, less of a fear for our aggro player that the opponent is just kind of combo off in their face, right, without any indication. Where this list, you really want to have your pieces out there a turn at least, and really signal that, hey, I'm about to combo off.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna go on a quick break, bud. Maybe like half a second. All right.
Yep. Yeah. So I am just finishing up the very last few couple of behind the scenes details. Huh. Do we have some results? That's good. Of course. So we're seeing the Goblin deck really running out of resources here, as the Blast Shark continues to value and might be able to soon set up for a combo, but not that it's needed, because
I think at this point Mink's Dunzo, I think. It's just flooded. He flooded a bit. That's the thing that can happen in Magic, And yep, this is a lethal attack. So go on to the next game. Oh yeah, Red Mage. I'm looking at the text or the comments now. The chat. Yeah, Ben was running more lands in that build. It was at 35. Normally those builds are like 33 to 34. That's not including other mana sources like Chrome Mox and Mox Diamonds, Pearls, Mana Crypts, etc. A lot of it was because he had a lot of utility lands in there, a lot of creature lands, scavenger grounds, a lot of kind of cool like graveyard interaction lands, stuff like that. So was a slightly more landed build, but a lot of them were spells. So it's kind of cool to see. All right. Well,
but of course was only game 1, and so we are looking forward to another. Is that Mink going down to 6?
Mink's at 6. Both players are at 6. Both players are at 6. I believe Blahguy maybe at 5.
Blahguy is at 5.
Yeah.
And it draws up to 6.
Yeah, their first draw I didn't see. Their second draw only had one creature in it, all lands, and it was a Mana Gorger Hydra, which is a cool card, but it was probably died or red removal. That's the only thing it had available. Mink's hand's a little awkward.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at. Like, would you have kept that?
Mink's hand, yeah, at 6, I would have kept that.
3 cards you can't cast.
The thing is, like, because they're on a more of a tempo-y list, like, you really can, if you have like a good burn spell you can cast to kind of control the board, you can try to wait for your. Now, I wouldn't have fetched there. The fetch I did not like there. I guess they're going to cast the Gem Palm or they're going to attack. I like leaving up Incinerate here, but that's just me. Because if you get unsummoned here, which is what's going to happen, I mean, it could. Maybe you don't. I think I'd unsummon here just for tempo purposes to buy more draw steps. Yeah, I would just leave up Incinerate, because the thing with the tempo style is, especially if they're, like, we're calling it walk pod, but it's more like, this is tempo. It looks like tempo to me from everything they played. Maybe like a more mid-rangey version of it, but it's tempo-y. They have to play to board at some point, and if you can just basically kill their threats they play to board, then they have to keep on doing it, and then they can't leave up their interaction. So, like, you can basically, like, only play against one half of their deck if you play smart against them, I think. So yeah, well, that was a good draw. I tend to be pretty big on controlling their ability to impact the board. Now we're going to probably see Hordling Outburst get remanded here, which I think makes perfect sense. I would cast it out. Got to get some board advantage. Got to get some board presence, really. So get remanded makes sense. This Price of Progress looking kind of embarrassing against the start out of Blast Shark, but what are you going to do? The Hordling Outburst is actually also very good with the Munitions Expert. I think he just leave up the Nibble Obstructionist here. Go with that option. Judith is a hell of a draw. That's a very, very good draw.
Nice.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one to beat, especially with this many 1/1s around. Oh, I'm breathing in my mic a bunch? Okay, well, I'll try to move it a little further away, Red Mage. You know me, I'm a mouth breather. Let me know if that's not better, bud.
I noticed it, but I thought it wasn't too bad. Anyways.
Oh, okay. It may be bad in the chat. I don't know. Or maybe someone's. It's not a big deal to me. I mean,
I have most people toned down anyway, so maybe that's why. Cycle.
So this Kraken's interesting. I mean, you kill this Kraken right away. My opinion. Yeah? Oh yeah, you kill that Kraken immediately.
What is this card he cycled?
Gem Palm Incinerator. You cycle it, and it does damage to a target creature equal to the number of goblins you have on board, which is going to be 3 in this case.
Oh, and that's
the most powerful way, because he's looking for a land, and if he finds a land drop here, which he did not, he found a uncastable card because Mink's mana base rocks. Sorry, guys, I'm making a joke at Mink's expense, but I love him to death. But yeah, it's the right line to use that one. I mean, it has some risk involved in it, but it's a green mana up. If it was a blue mana and they bounce one of them, then like that thing stays alive and you're in a lot of trouble. But that's a 0/0 clone that casts for 3 mana and becomes a copy of a creature you control, not any creature, right? It's from M20, M19. Always forget the card's name, but it's an interesting one to see.
Image or something.
Maybe, yeah.
It's a
3 mana clone. It's a 3 mana clone of your stuff, not anyone else's. So,
but usually the power of the clones is being able to take your opponent's things if they are outpacing you or ahead, have the big threat, and so only being able to, as here, making it a 3/1 flying without flash, and it's gonna get killed here. This is not where Blahguy
And
wants
what
to
I'm curious about is I honestly think I like just okay, he's got this chain where it's just gonna blow everything up. If we didn't hit our mana there, if we hit another non-colored source, not red colored source, I think I like actually playing out the munitions expert and incinerate over the Judith. It pushes less damage, but it also forces your opposition to play to the board as opposed to leaving up counter magic, which is a position that because we drew red, we're already in right here. So it's the same thing. I mean, it's the better play once you draw the mountain. But
for sure. This mana source really allowed to turn the game around, and I
don't think it was. I don't think it was ever going. I don't think it was ever going one player's way, but I think it definitely helps seal their position up.
Okay, it's not turn around, but tip so that it is now
certainly heavy advantage, Mink. Because I guess we get to leave up counterspell here, so we get to. I honestly think that there's a good chance we just see Mink double remove here. I just try to keep the board open and attack. Because if you cast your first incinerate and it gets, I guess you'd cast munitions expert first, try to remove this thing, and then if that gets countered, then you can incinerate and then just do 6 to them.
Either way around. If you cast munitions expert first,
I think you munitions expert first because you have availability to mutavault if it works, right? Because then you can attack your mutavault.
But
yeah, I think that's the right play. I think you munitions expert
instead,
first to leave up mutavault.
The goblin pile driver comes out after the removal gets countered.
That's fair. I think I just look to keep the board open here, but I mean, you could want to save munitions expert for like a big Dumbo threat.
Yeah, of course. And so, what I think is going to happen here is we're going to see next turn a munitions expert plus a price of progress.
Or just an attack. Just attack with mutavault,
and that should be lethal. Of course, depending on
you don't even need price of progress here, man. You just munitions expert the blocker out of the way, attack with all. And, win.
Of course, we know that Blahguy doesn't have any other action, but from Mink's perspective, I would in this position assume there would be some kind of flash blocker in the coming future. And
I just think if you have munitions expert plus mutavault available, like you're putting the bar very high for them to have to.
Oh yeah, okay. Of course,
fire up mutavault
does the same job, the same 2 damage.
You just commit less to the board that way. You play with more known information. You just force them to have it. That's kind of how I think I'd approach it. But
for sure,
that's right. 10-point advantage bar is in Mink's favor.
This is not going to be good for Mink. This is a body double.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, what? No, okay. I thought body double could target things on the battlefield, which would have been the Chain Whirler, but that's not the case.
And no, graveyard only, it's just going to make a blocker.
Mink takes game 2.
Yeah, no, that's game. I don't know if there was a possibility of staying alive if you block with the Deathrite, exile a creature to gain 2 life up to 10, and then like use the pump spell in hand to try to stay alive against this munitions expert. I don't know. It's not good. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's just it. I don't know if that line. I think that line was better, but I don't think it was going to win the game either way. I think basically it was like draw Time Walk and then draw a way to combo with Time Walk like in a row to like get out of that. This is a pretty low probability. Well, we have a Time Walk hand. Yeah, I actually don't mind either player's hand. Mink's is a little slow, but it's got creature elimination and it's got mana advantage over time with Aether Vial. I think it's good. I'd keep that one. It's not fast.
Quirion Dryad here might not be long for this world because it's powerful, but it starts up. Really
matter of fact, it certainly will not be unless Mink. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to put words in or tell you how Mink's going to play, but I think Vial on turn 1 is correct, especially against blue green with lower artifacted limb. I doubt we're going to see a lightning bolt on the Terramander.
That's right. We have a Vial past the turn.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. That's how I'd play it too. Just get the Vial down, get mana advantage basically over them, and nullify their counter spells. And we have a Cavern of Souls as well. So I mean, yeah, Cavern is a pretty good card against a blue deck that's playing Cavern.
And
now, that
so
Fauna Shaman is interesting. That Fauna Shaman could actually present a pretty large issue. I don't know what combos they have in blue-green with just Pestermite, like internal. Are they playing a Kiki Jiki in this deck too, or no?
I can see.
Yeah. Best draw in Mink's deck is like a Mana Crypt or a Mox here. A Mox would allow them to threat. All right, it's a Goblin King. It's a good one. The Pestermite's probably just in there to untap the Birthing Pod, be my guess.
Yeah. There is no Kiki.
Yeah.
And
Just untap
is there even an infinite combo in here?
Well, yeah, there is. So I don't know if there's an infinite one, but other than that, they have the legendary clone that you can keep on recloning stuff every turn. You just do time walks over and over again. But like what they'll probably do is like get a pod down, get into an untapper like Pestermite, untap the Birthing Pod, find Archaeomancer, to get back a time walk that they've binned. Yeah, it's a weird place, right? Because like this, this isn't going to pump the Quirion Dryad though, which allows you to cast the Goblin Chain Whirler and just blow them out next turn, which is pretty big, right?
Yeah,
that's huge, actually. I think you bolt the fun. I like Mink's patience here. I could have seen some players going for the Lightning Bolt on the Quirion Dryad. But I guess it's an option you're going to leave anyways, because unless they can play 3 spells, they're not going to get it to a 4/4. And then you Chain Whirler here to knock out all the threats on the opposing side and have a great blocker for the Treetop Village, as well as have a Withering Boon in your hand because you're an interesting person and you like playing Withering Boon. And you have access to this Pile Driver, which is a massive clock with a Goblin King in hand.
A condition for Withering Boon not that you control a swamp?
No, it's not. It just does damage to you. It's an additional cost to cast the spell, pay 3 life, or lose 3 life to pay 3 life. Counter target creature spell.
I thought it was one of those like.
No, it's not that bad.
It's not there is some old cards in this vein, which require a corresponding basic land type.
Cheap difference, though.
Yeah.
Snuff Out's a good card.
This isn't.
But it's not going to matter here. So what we're representing here is that we can discard 2 cards with this snake to beat the Goblin Chain Whirler in combat. That's not going to be the case because this Goblin King is going to come down and make the Chain Whirler too big to discard his hand. This is turning into a pretty big beating. Okie doke. We're going to do this and leave up Withering Boon. So, like, Withering Boon is going to counter something here. We're going to get to commentate on Withering Boon working out.
Factual Withering Boon actually counts.
Yeah, and for the viewers out there, Withering Boon is, to be totally honest, not a playable Highlander card. But when you're in great positions like this, it can do something, right? Yeah, and that's another thing with the format, too. It's like, I'm not trying to rag on Mink's deck. I am a little bit because I know Mink and I like to rag on them. But... But it's a format where you can play a lot of cards that you just enjoy or have fun with, right? And that's what Mink's doing with Withering Boon. They enjoy the card. They think it's fun, and they've gotten a lot of folks with it. It's just funny to them. So, I am no different. I play stuff like Caravac Spite, and I think it's hilarious.
Always.
Yeah. So even if they discard their whole hand and trade with this Goblin or this Pile Driver here, they're not, we're looking at top decks here. And there's a Boon. Well, it's not... a Birthing Pod. Birthing Pod's probably one of the few cards I can imagine would put them in a place to possibly get out of this spot, but still not great because they're looking at a lethal attack outside of blocks next turn. Could look to trade Treetop with the Pile Driver possibly, and then I don't know if they can do that because you have to tap something. As we know, the Pestermite's going to get Withering Booned here, and it's going to feel bad. It's gonna feel bad. All right, so we don't need to blow. The Trash Master does give them give Mink ounce to like pod, but I think this game will go one more turn. Be my guess. They allow the attack to happen. They don't pester my ear. It's not wrong. It's just I think I would have tried to do that just in case. I mean, I don't know. They know their deck.
So I think the treetop village is taking on the king, and
Yeah.
the news is blocking.
The treetop village is going to get eaten by the king though, because the trash master is a lord and it'll give everything +1/+1. There's an Aether Vial on 4, so they'll vial in the trash master to trade off with the tree.
Blowout. Yeah.
Yeah, this is not good. They're going to try to make the snake a 5/5, and then the first striking chain whirler will become a 5/5, which is I mean, Big's playing this very well. Okay, they're going to trade with that one to take less damage, not tie to like price or something. So
Mink is a bit aggressive on this, on flashing this in. I would have waited for Blahguy to maybe discard some cards first, try to catch them.
Yeah, you do wait on that. You're not wrong. You're 100% right on that. That's a sequencing error on their part. They could have gotten more advantage out of it, but I don't think it's going to matter.
Yeah, it's done. We are through match 1, and what a game! Like that was a good match of Magic.
That was a good one. Definitely interesting to see. And yeah, congratulations to Minksterella on Goblins. How is the rest of the field looking?
I am just about to put in all the results. So we have Bailite on where's Bailite here? Bailite on Abzan Midrange, going 2-0 against Loading on Red Wool.
Red Wool?
Yeah. Do you know what that is? Because I don't.
No, but I have a guess that it's running that sheep, the 0/5 sheep that gains life and probably has an enchantment sub-theme, but I have to see the deck list. I'm guessing here. He may be explaining
it right now. SecretPipesman on 4-color Xerox against Blahguy on Rakdos.
Oh, that's going to be a cool game. Who won that one? Pipesman got him?
2 seconds, I'm getting a call. Oh, I think we're getting Red Mage in here. What?
No, it was a
Godsmith,
mistake.
what
That was a
are
mistake
you doing?
It was an issue. But looking through it, it looks like Pipesman did take the game on 4-color tempo versus black-red, looking at the Discord reporting. And then I think derNicky dropped a game. I think they were against Para. So Paradox Academy got bug reclamation / bug control. Mink, just as a heads up, you actually didn't lose the opportunity. Your opponent not casting a creature did not lose you the opportunity to cast your Withering Boon. You were able to Withering Boon your own M20 Goblin that makes another Goblin when it comes into play. Just to show dominance. I'm just saying. Just a pro level move there. You got to assert dominance there.
SecretPipesman won in 2-1. So that's
2-1 split.
Xerox is the cantrip deck, yeah?
Xerox is a cantrip driven deck, yeah. It's just I think it's a 4-color. It's basically base Grixis or base Rug tempo deck that is splashing either the green or the black. One way or the other. I haven't seen their list recently. I think it looked like a base Grixis deck, though, that was splashing the green.
Yeah. And so we have the SecretPipesman on 4-color Xerox 2-1 against Rakdos Aggro. Is that surprising in any way?
I think they're both I think they're both solid decks. I think over time, I think Xerox would be not as favored in that matchup. But it also depends on how you build it. Like, I haven't seen their build. If they have more mid-rangey cards like Okos and like Renin 6s, and they're less Xeroxy and more mid-rangey, then probably a better matchup. But in general, Xerox style decks tend to struggle with like very hyper aggressive decks, generally.
I cannot see any results from Boot versus Arakasi.
It was the first one.
What?
2-0. It's 2-0 to Arakasi.
2-0 to Arakasi.
What are you playing today, Arakasi?
Citadel still.
Okay, there we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Do you have a breach in there?
No, I didn't put that in yet. I was considering it, but
I
got to retool the deck a little bit.
Yeah, breach's a heck of a card, especially right now with it unpointed.
Yeah. See, I don't have Yogg Will or anything like that, so breach would just be like open up all the traditional soul.
Well, I don't know. You get to run like Enlightened Tutor, which can find your Citadel as well, to find Breach as well if you want to have lines with that. And like,
oh yeah, it's an enchantment. Jesus. Yeah, I already have an Enlightened Tutor in there.
Kipper, buddy. Yeah, that card's pretty fucked up. Excuse the language. Pretty messed up. A lot of cool stuff you can do with it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll definitely consider doing that.
Or Savine's Reclamation. You can just get a random mill and have a regrowth you don't even need to have in your hand to get a Yawgmoth's Will on active. It's great.
Jeez, insane.
Yeah, it's well, the format will change, to accommodate for some of the nonsense that I think it enables. But
I have generated pairings.
Sweet. Who's fighting next? Who is fighting for enjoyment next, folks?
They get up to. It's diabolical.
And
you have Xerox versus Abzan would be a sick matchup to watch.
Yep. Exactly.
So we're watching. Perfect. That's a good game, right there. That's a good game of Magic.
Exactly. I'm copying. There we have the feature match is SecretPipesman versus Bailite. The 4-color Xerox versus Abzan Midrange.
Yeah, and I think it'll be interesting to see this game play out. I think that in actuality, based on knowing Bailite's build and their play style and kind of how they build their decks, I think Pipesman is going to be best suited as the aggressor in the matchup. I think they're going to want to put pressure on Bailite relatively early and force them to commit more so to the board. Because I do think the way that Bailite builds their decks and plays them, their variety of Abzan, it's more on the controlling end of mid-range, like a lot of grindy tools and card advantage kind of cards that are generally slower, but over time will put you in a very good stead to win games of Magic.
And so we are just about getting things ready.
Yeah, this will be a fun one to watch. But yeah, Bailite's got some crazy ones. They got like a Gerard's Verdict, which is basically kind of like a worse but still effective Hymn to Turek, black-white sorcery. Opponent discards 2 cards, not randomly though. If they're land card, for each land card they discard, you gain 3 life, and then they just discard 2 cards. They play stuff like that where that can be tough for the Xerox deck because cantrips in general, especially like effects like Brainstorm, do rely on a fairly high card capacity to kind of operate that deck because you're using your cantrips to essentially transmute into other cards, which requires a larger mana resource. Thus, all your spells are very efficient. So I think some of that grinding capacity of the Bailite's deck will be challenging versus the Xerox deck, and I think kind of why they're going to want to play to the board early, get down efficient threats and just apply pressure directly.
Let's see it. The match is up and going.
Awesome. All right, I'm excited for this one. This is a game that I'm excited to see because I think it can go either way very easily.
And speaking of cards, we have just been talking about Snuff Out. And
that's a card you play in Xerox. 100%. The card's great. It's funny. I was playing that card probably like 4 or 5 months ago against Ben. I got accused of aggressive alpine skiing. The card I think is 100% right though, especially in a format with mana vaults, soul rings, medium red. Like you just have big stuff you need to kill for free because you got to cast your own threats. Is our game up right now on stream? Because I'm still looking at your face on the black screen.
So we are starting with Bailite, Thought Seizing.
There we go. All right, gotcha.
And
this is Blahguy versus Minksterella.
Yeah. So SecretPipesman getting his own hand attack. Hey, that's the Inquisition of Kozilek is the target of the Thoughtseize.
Yeah. This is a. I don't know how this is happening. We have. I'll guarantee you that we have. So I'm looking at the stream right now. We definitely have SecretPipesman in hand, but we're watching Blahguy versus Minksterella. So whoever's controlling that, Gosmit, please jump into the correct game.
Oh.
Yeah, because we're watching Goblins versus Black Red, but we do have the hand of a Xerox deck.
Well, what's happening is that
you're watching it physically.
I'm watching their personal streams.
We're jumping into it now. Just because the viewers aren't seeing what you're seeing, because I'm watching it directly from stream. But we'll get there momentarily.
Knight of the what's it called? The green-white knight.
Autumn or Night of Reliquary, one of the two.
Reliquary. The land fetcher.
Yep, that's Reliquary.
Yeah, and that gets snuffed out
right away. Right away.
Just as soon as it hits the battlefield, and then we have this hooting mandrels leaving up a spell snare.
Yeah. I could even see possibly waiting on this to leave up the remand this turn, because you're going to be one short of leaving up remand.
What's the up and down on Fatal Push versus Spell Snare as the mana you leave up?
I leave up Snare. I want to protect my threat. This is a protect the queen strategy. So if they have 2 mana removal of some variety, which 1 mana removal is my fear in this hand, which I guess maybe at that point remand's not even that great, but like what you kind of want to avoid here is like getting 2 spelled on this turn, like removal into threat. This is going to be Mind Twist. That's a savage one to see.
Mind Twist X equals 3.
All right, into Flame Slash. So this is kind of like what Bailite's deck's intended to do. Like now, Bailite does assume some risk here if like the cards that his opponent have left are like counter spells that can counter his relevant stuff. But now it's his turn to land a threat. Like he's hoping to get the relevant interaction out of his opponent's hand, take them down on resources. It will tap here. Off blue mana at this point of note. But yeah, I think that Mind Twist is going to put Bailite in very good stead if they're able to threat this turn. If it's nothing,
getting completely stripped out here.
Yeah, but you have onboard presence. So we do have a Finks in hand. Finks. And
they have removal.
They have removal for the apes too. So that's the removal is now blanked. Yeah, it's now blanked. That draw is huge.
4-drop. This is the tempo.
The 4-drop's good, but you just remove it. So like that fetch land is going to fetch a counter to. Yeah, they're just going to find burn here. The problem is that Assassin's Trophy will more than likely, unless they hit directly a red source right now, red or blue source. Right, it's kind of a red or a blue source in the coming turns, but I think you do have to deal with this thing. Yeah, they kill it, play out their DRS. The apes are going to die after this turn. But Bailite's kind of out of gas, and this DRS does... All right, that's just a mana dork. There's a chance they let both these live.
Takes out the mana dork instead of the
DRS is a big long-term problem. It also fixes mana, right? We're going to get an island here, more than likely, would be my guess. Island. And then we play on a blocker because it's good to block against a 4. Well, it's Trampler. I guess it doesn't matter.
Bailite just drew a Traverse the Ulvenwald and has Madness. What are you going to get here? Like
Siege Rhino in the game. Siege Rhino. But
you're willing to take the time off because you can't cast it, right? Oh, wait, you have the birds, of course.
Siege Rhinoceros, put them to 1, go up to 10. Yeah. Very difficult to race that, even if you draw burn. Siege Rhino is the play, in my opinion. But we'll see. It could be anything. It could just be a Gonti, because a Gonti blocks the apes pretty well. But
But
I'm on a little bit of a delay. I don't know if you got that or not.
Good call there.
Yeah. That would be what I would probably grab. No, and I don't know their deck perfectly, but I played against Bailite a significant bit. And actually, it's funny. Last time I played them, I was playing Grixis Midrange first in their deck, and it was again good games. A little less tempo-y than what SecretPipesman's playing, but a little more midrange.
Just do it.
Yeah, and you just hang back and say, "Hey, have the answer, bud." That's not it. Yep, that's game. Yep. So I don't mind how SecretPipesman played that game. I think they did a good job of really forcing the issue early, making them have the answers. Now they got double land kill. Bob's a hell of a card.
That's a good draw for Bailite. He didn't have white and gets it just off the top. Never didn't have it.
I still think that Pipesman's in a great spot here because the Wrath that they have in hand, Henny's expertise, which will blow up the Bob and this DRS, is going to get spell pierced, right? More than likely, you probably fetch here, leave up the spell pierce on their turn, just in case they have something relevant like a 3-mana planeswalker, play out the Bob, and then get a card engine going, which is really important. Like I was saying, that Mind Twist was, maybe not the apparent power move, but was kind of the power move last game to take SecretPipesman off of the resources for a long game, which Bailite's going to look to force long games. Now, this duress is a big draw because I think this turn you take it off from Eldamri's Calling just to duress them to reduce their resources. They could opt
he
Eldamri's
has
Call,
passed, so that's not the
call,
plan.
Yeah, he can definitely call here, and with his consideration maybe is they have an active Bob. So even if I get a relevant card out of their hand, they're going to be seeing 2 a turn, and they just concede to that being a reality. Yeah, we're already down to 12. We're doing a lot of damage to ourselves. I'm wondering if SecretPipesman plays Death Shadow in this list. Definitely could. I have before in these 4-color Xerox decks. You take a beating cards.
Secret. That's number 1.
The issue I foresee with this is
he does.
Yeah. Death Shadow makes sense. I play it in 4-color Xerox as well. I think it's quite good in that deck because you do a lot of damage to yourself with the deck. Do quite a bit. So we are going to call here. Call for a 3-drop. Probably just Kitchen Finks. Maybe not. I think you just want to stay alive and make something that's hard to remove. Now, as we know, it's going to get mana leaked. Pretty much anything that he casts here, I think will get mana leaked. Tarmogoyf, that makes sense too. Just a big dumb. Actually, probably just get Fatal pushed. All right, so we get to rest here. I think I would probably just pierce this and then leave up the Fatal push for the Tarmogoyf that we know he has.
Was that the remand he took?
Oh, I probably did the Mana Leak. Mana Leak's the card I would take because
the Mana Leak, yeah.
We can play around the Henny's expertise. The Pierce will still be an issue, but you can just go up on mana. Especially with Savine's Reclamation. So one of the things Savine's Reclamation can do, you just get a fetch land back if you have one, which they do not now, but they very well could find one. Only issue with Savine's here is you're not going to get the flashback on it due to they don't remove the Goyf either on that turn. I guess they want to save it. All right, yeah, this is what we want to be doing here. All right, that's another removal spell. Go ahead and just kill this thing. I think I would have killed the Goyf on end step just based on drawing 2 there for mana efficiency's sake. Probably going to see some Apes get cast here. Maybe not. They don't know their hand yet, so the Apes does not die to that expertise though.
We have a match result from Loading. Can you confirm it's you who goes 2-0?
I did do that, yes.
Yep. Good. Thank you.
Yeah.
So the fetch again is interesting. Savine's Reclamation does kind of build some equity in fetches. That said, DRS is going to blank that. I think Bailite knows what's going on in the other hand, at least within one card of Exactitude. All right, so we are going to see this get countered.
Yep.
Probably see him get domed again. Now the thing is, this expertise is not going to deal with the monkeys. Dome him for some damage. Yep. Bob goes off. Force of Will, that's probably a game lock. Would be my guess. We're at 5, though. You may need to gain life here, because your Bob could kill you in this deck, right? Like, at 5, you could die to your own Bob.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, or you could just cast out your Apes. Yeah, if you cast out the Apes, they're not going to get Henny's expertise at that point. They're just going to hope you die to Bob flips. I guess you still have the Assassin's Trophy to blow up your own Bob, though. EOT if they do nothing, which is probably what I'd do. Yeah.
But
yeah,
do
I
they
like
know that? They didn't have the Assassin's Trophy at the time.
Bailite's hand sucks. Like, he knows that. And honestly, actually, Assassin's Trophy doesn't blow up Bob. I'm sorry. It's not abrupt. Actually, can't do that line. But, like, I think if you could do that, Bailite would, like, one, does not know that they have trophy, and 2, like, I think Bailite would actually try to allow that to happen if they thought it was the highest probability of winning, which with the hand they've got, it possibly is. Their hand's not good. This is the only good card they've got, and it gets countered here. So Bob could have a kill here.
But
all the
like
delve cards.
double life gain off of the Deathrite Shaman.
Yeah, and I think you do. You definitely
It's
gain
a
the life
land.
here. You definitely
It's a
gain the life
land.
here, and well, it doesn't get him out of it. Because I think if he's playing Treasure Cruise or Dig Through Time, those are still lethal, right?
It's super lethal. Like -6.
Not super, but it's like -2. But yeah,
-6.
All right, so we hit a remand here. All right, that's game. So we go on to game 3. Again, pretty tight. You kind of saw the pressure kind of happen here a little earlier. Didn't see massive hand attack, i.e. like a 3 or 4 for 1, whatever the Mind Twist was in game 1. So yeah, I do think that Bailite being on the play is going to be slightly advantaged here because, well, they'll be back a card, and their cards are inherently less efficient. Their deck is designed to go long, and getting that early advantage and having, I think, singularly more powerful independent cards that are less efficient in their deck will benefit them if they're able to get their mana base under them first. Although this hand's pretty strong. I mean, we could stifle a fetch land. We can snare the ramp spell, which I think you do. Yeah, I think you easy snare here. You just keep them off mana because their cards are going to be better than yours. But, okay, we have a land drop too. So yeah, Pipesman's in a good spot. This hand's very good. Yeah, we are going to ponder here. I think I would have waited on ponder. I think I'm pretty happy having 3 lands in hand, although he's looking for pressure probably. That's probably the biggest issue with this hand is has no threat.
And
So
there's not a lot of threats that's more irritating to fight against than the Hex Drinker.
Yeah, but we are going to leave up Stifle and Opt here. I like that line. It's going to keep his opponent off of playing the Courser this turn, which would have been the reason to leave up Mana Leak. Although, if Bailite has more non-fetch lands in hand, Courser and like Tireless Tracker are the cards that worry me most. But you got Abrupt Decay to deal with it on the backswing if it does happen.
Yeah. The free strip mine, or like free as doesn't use this.
Stifle's honestly, people tend to look at Stifle in this context right here, like where it gets a land, which I have a very hard time believing it won't do that here. That's probably one of the more common uses for it in the format, but the card also stops a whole hell of a lot of other stuff. Planeswalker ultimates, Planeswalker activations, Grim Lavamancer activations, just a lot of stuff it does. That's a good blocker against Hex Drinker, though.
Yeah. But it's gonna get Collective Brutality.
Yeah, that'd be my guess too. Probably see. Maybe not
gonna
yet.
have a good look at the Bailite's hand.
I actually may
have a look, but
yeah, I may wait on Collective Brutality here. To be honest, you get rid of the Opt if you're gonna get rid of something. Yeah, we'll take Green Sun Zenith as the card you take here. I don't think you take the Expertise. Cut the leak for that. Green Sun Zenith is the most immediately threatening card. I think on Bailite's side, if you're in Pipesman's position, you want to attack their mana. Their cards are going to be better. Their mana is where you need to attack them, and they've got a good start at that, and they've got now pressure. So land is the best draw for Bailite. If we don't, okay, that's a land. So we're going to get a Courser here, and then the cool thing about this, if Lord Anas or SecretPipesman wants to hit a land here, if they don't hit a land, they're in an awkward spot because they both want to kill this thing and leave up Mana Leak, right? And they're going to schnapp to leave up Mana Leak, which is risky business, right? Because they're going to get card advantage here. They'll get a land off the top, go up to 4. Then they have to counter this, probably this Gonti. And then Abrupt Decay on their following turn. Still hoping to hit a land to play Bob out. The Henny's Expertise is, they don't know their hand at this point. I don't think there's been a Gitaxian Probe cast, but that is the spookiest card that's over there. Actually, I'm mistaken on that. They just cast a Collective Brutality, so they know their hand for the most part. Sylvan Library. Game's definitely up in the air. Like I was saying, I think if a land drop had been missed there, we could have seen it go differently. This is very aggressive. I think I just play out the Gonti here. Just me, my position on it.
No, but that
I guess it's the highest upside play to do that and then get something to play. But yeah.
It's not wrong, but like sometimes you don't want the highest upside. You want more of a least downside.
Well, and here's the thing, right? Like, here's the known information. Our opponent has, like, if you're in Bailite's position, your opponent has a level up creature that becomes very good if it hits maximum levels, right? And they didn't choose to level it up to get it closer to that position. So, right, and at that point, like, Although this leveling here is fairly aggressive, in my opinion. I think I would have tried to develop a Bob or Abrupticate the Courser, but I guess they know they're not hitting a land exactly right now. So we'll see a Sylvan Library, I suppose, come down here, possibly, or just Gonti. Just Gonti him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gonti seems fine. Issue being, I mean, if they do hit the land, they can just make an 8/8 and put them on a 3-turn, I guess, but the Courser is gaining them life.
Gonti hits at dig through time.
It's not a
Ooh.
bad one to hit. It's a pretty strong one, actually, to hit. Can't
Yeah.
be cast now, but...
But Bailite does have a full yard to support in the...
No, he'll cast
So-
it for 2 mana.
Yeah.
He'll cast it for 2 mana and find blue cards. I don't think Bailite's in a bad position. That was a good draw, though. It was a fine draw. I do think here you probably look to... yeah, okay. Play the Bob out, get to lands. Makes sense.
Yep.
You probably snuff out the Courser at this point, I think, before this Camball comes down. The Camball is probably a good one to play against this deck. This deck requires a lot of cantrips, a lot of spells to make work.
Upkeep fetch from
Yeah, I guess they don't want the
Bailite.
Camball. I guess they don't want the Camball then.
Huh. Yeah,
I
was
like
with
Camball in this
you.
matchup.
I thought that...
Camball's good. Yeah, maybe they just, they don't know the deck as well. Maybe they think it's more mid-rangey. Camball's really good in this matchup, though. Like a lot of blue spells to kind of make the deck stick together because it's very low land count, right? And they're going to draw fetch, which is not really what you want to be drawing with a Courser in play, but is what it is.
Mm.
All right, Swords to Plowshares. That's a instant, so it doesn't deal with the goofy Hydra or the or this thing is the snake. I do think you're boxed to a position where you do need to get rid of this this Courser, though.
Yeah. So Bailite is trying to get off this stick through time, trying to look for an answer that isn't an instant at this time.
Well, yeah, they can still deal with the Bob. I mean, this Swords to Plowshares going to hand seems pretty good to me, just to deal with the Bob.
But they are going to need some kind of answer at some point.
Well, I don't know. I think they can possibly race it, man. I think they can possibly race it. That's a 3-turn clock when it's fully powered. Yeah, it's a perfect card for this because it's really hard once Siege Rhino hits when you're down to 10 to be turning an 8/8 sideways because the 8/8 only represents a 3-turn clock, and the clock on the other side's faster than that, especially when you're down to 10 with what is that, 8 power on board. All right, we're showing the options up there. I see the bottom half of Savine's Reclamation Forest and a Night of Autumn.
So we have
Swords to Plowshares is
Assassin's
definitely in there.
Lisa, Siege Rhino Sword,
Okay.
Night of Autumn, Savine.
I think I would take the
Smoke
cheap
Over Forest.
interaction in Swords and likely another threat.
Yep.
Just keep them on the back foot because the Xerox deck does not really want to be on the back foot. It wants to
Bailite
maintain
is
power.
pondering
we go.
Nissa. Yeah, that's a Nissa.
I think you take Siege Rhino and Plow or Swords to Plowshares. Siege Rhino is the
Plow
clock.
and Nissa is the final selection.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I think I'd go Rhino, but just to race here. I think you're racing here.
swinging in with Gonti, of course. Death Touch means that you can still race for the time being.
With both, eh? Okay, all right. I just saw the attack all option get hit there. So we'll see Lordanowski down to 11, which this Bob is possibly going to represent. I think you just plow it, yeah. I like the plow there. Basically means they stay at 13 here. Can't play Nissa. They're going to get a Sylvan Library down. Now, of note, unless this snake becomes an 8/8 protection from everything, the Shriek Maw will.
Does.
Yeah, I think it will.
It's swinging in for 8,
Yeah.
but we have now the life gain of the what's it called, the Cruiser, the Corsair.
Courser
It's going to be if we can
he has to get to 24. If he gets to 20, I'm sorry, he has to get to 25. So he has to gain 5 more for that to be relevant. It's still a 3-turn clock. It's kind of the breaks. And right now, the breaks is you got to get to 25 to make it not a 3-turn clock. If it's a 4-turn clock, it's completely probably unraceable unless you get red mana.
Needs to gain 3 life. Currently at 14. 17 would be a 3-turn
4
clock
life.
now.
Yep.
And between Nissa and 3 visits, that's doable.
Possible. I don't think 3 visits is the card you keep here though, unless you draw 2. Savine's Rex also 2 lands.
Tiana, that's the
Titania.
protector.
Yeah.
Titania.
Yeah, she'll die in response to being put on the board though.
She will?
Snuff out. Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. There's a couple relevant cards that not Bailite, that Lord Noski or Ansky / SecretPipesman has in hand.
Bait the snuff out with the Corsa.
You could just attack first. Of course, you attack first. I mean, just try to see if you can get some. I think that's just solid technical play. That's good. Yeah, he removes it, and I think that's fine to remove it there. That's solid technical play. But I mean, I think that would. I don't know if they're per se baiting it. It's just technical play. You attack before you cast your spells.
Yeah, of course, but still, that
it's good. I think honestly, I probably would have just taken the damage and saved the Abrupt Decay, because Abrupt Decay does deal with that issue on the board, right? Now it's gonna have to deal with a 5/3 from this point. Thoughtseize not what you want to see. That's gonna be probably a game. You can stay back with, I guess, the Drinker, but your opponent's seeing a lot of cards every turn. With Library,
yeah,
they attack. No, okay, they don't. They say we're good for now. So we got 10 power on the other side. This is not looking great. At a minimum, Savine's Reclamation went away, because Savine's Reclamation did represent 10 more power. I'm sorry, 15 more power. Because you just get back a fetch land, then get back 2 more fetch lands, with flashing it back from the bin to make 15 power, which is not bad.
Now, what would you taint it pact for?
Way to win the game this turn. I would probably attempt to attack with all and then find Siege Rhino and just kill them.
Yeah.
We'll see what he finds, though. I mean, if he finds like a Council's Judgment, that can deal with the Drinker as well, if he's got that card in deck. I mean, heck, you could find a lot of things. You could just get Garrick and like uptick it and then be like, hey, you have to attack my Garrick or else I'm going to trample over your silly thing next turn. Quite a bit of options. The problem that you have here is that SecretPipesman mana base did not really. He drew the cards you couldn't cast, right? He drew 2 red cards that are just worthless right now, and has a Thoughtseize, which is worthless once attritions happen. And then I think there was a separate line where like you could have been a little less aggressive on the Hex Drinker and left up Abrupt Decay a few turns sooner to stop some card advantage off of the Corsair Crewfix. Probably a couple lands would have been drawn off of it or played off the top of the deck. And had a little more flexibility in using the stuff out to possibly mitigate like something like Titania, but it would have been a different game too, right? I mean, like, at that point, you also have a Hex Drinker that's not protected. Liliana of the Veil makes sense too. That's just going to get rid of this threat, and that would be the game. So that's it, guys. Cool games. And I think, I do think that over time, Bailite's Abzan build is probably a little bit benefited against 4C Tempo Xerox. I think the die roll is also really big in this one, because you do need to get that early pressure and kind of just keep the mid-range control deck kind of on its back heels. So good games, though. Very, very cool.
So that was Secret Pipes. No, wait, that was
SecretPipesman versus Bailite. Yeah, Bailite takes game 2-1. 2-1 split.
Yes, good. Bailite in 2-1.
Yeah. First game went to Bailite. Second game went to SecretPipesman, and then third Bailite.
And so I need to find.
Is anyone else still playing right now?
Para. Yeah, Para versus Arakasi. So
could Godspeed. Can you get us into that game? That'd be pretty sweet. We don't need hand cams probably for it, but
Arakasi just joined us. Are you finished, Arakasi?
Yeah. I went 2-1.
You won?
Yeah, 2-1 for Arakasi.
2-1 to Arakasi.
Yep.
And so that means we have pairings for round 3. Ooh. I will post. It is in the finals, Mink versus Bailite. So 2 people we have already looked at this fine evening.
Cool. So we have Goblins versus Abzan. I love you, Mink, but I'm gonna have to call Abzan here, buddy.
Wait, if I'm 3-0, what's the finals there?
I think we probably need to relook that. To me, it sounded a little funny too. Are we even done with this round yet?
What? I
we
have
complete-
results for everybody. For round 2.
Oh, I thought we just said Paranundrox was still playing.
No.
Versus Arakasi.
Okay. So, but if Arakasi's undefeated, why isn't he playing in the finals?
We have, because we have 10 people, we have 3 people who are 2-0. And so the matchmaker has to choose 2 people to go into the final.
Okay, so are we just going to go off a game win percentage, or are we going to have like a 4th round and then go into the finals?
We are going. I think I'll have to confer with Red Mage. But if Arakasi goes undefeated, even if he's not in the final, I think he gets a event win points.
Yeah, or we just actually have a finals, right? So I just my take, and we'll let TRM say something. Yeah.
Mink has gone 2-0 versus Bailite, which has gone 2-0. That's what the software tells me.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I don't know what software you're using, so guys at home, sorry, we're trying to go through this
Magic
live, but
Arena at Abzan.
Cool. What I'm thinking in my head is like if we have 2 2-0s at the end, if someone win the finals, that we're looking at the finals, but if we have someone win this round now, and then Arakasi win their round, me personally, unless TRM says something differently, let's play more Magic and get a final. Let's get a real finals.
Unfortunately, I have to leave.
Okay. Well, I mean, I can commentate
we
it.
could play
Gosman
more.
Wants to run it. Yeah.
I think the policy has just been in a situation where you have 2 equivalent final scores, basically, or results. Then you just split the tournament win points equally among everyone who has the same record.
That's how it is.
All right. Alrighty, fair enough.
But
I was kind of like trying to pipe up for Arakasi. I'm like, kind of stinky. If you got paired down, you're like, all right, I got paired down. So,
I should do that.
Yeah.
2 seconds. The matches are coming in 3, 2, 1. There you go.
Alrighty. Here we go. Yep. No, we got, so for the folks at home, we got 3 folks who are 2-0 right now. 1 pair down due to how it broke, and what it sounds like we're gonna end up doing to resolve the issue is because we'll have someone paired down here, is if we have 2 undefeated players at the end of this, we'll basically split match points, and or they have been given the option by Red Mage to just duke it out at the end, which I'm all for. But we'll see. If we got to cut it a little early, we got to cut it a little early. I just do it for glory, and then we can tell you all later how it panned out between whoever wins games.
But as it is, a smaller tournament, if they want to fight for the points, we can do it. We just won't be able to have me commentate, but you could stay with Gosmith.
Oh yeah, I will. I'll commentate. Yeah, if Gosmith's cool to hang out for a little bit longer, if they want to do it, I'm all about it. Like I said, I know if I was in Arakasi's position, I'd want to fight it out. Be like, yeah, I want to play for it.
For sure. And it appears we are up and running already. That was the quickest turnaround time so far. So we have snow-covered mountain into Skirk Prospector.
Yeah, very powerful card actually in this deck. With Hordling Outburst, it can basically put Mink on like damn near 10 mana on turn 4. The card that's most relevant in their hand though is the Goblin Recruiter. There, that thing is going to be broken. He's gonna want another land though. But the Skirk Prospector will set it up pretty nicely. I can't see Bailite's hand yet. All right, so we drew a card.
And so two goblins for 2 mana spell that exists a couple of them. I don't know which one this is.
This is Krako's command.
Trinkos?
Yeah, it just makes 2
Trinkos command.
And what Mink's looking to do here is hit a black source in their next turn. If they don't hit a black source in their next turn, I think we'll just see them cast the Goblin Recruiter out and get a bunch of red goblins.
That is the best black source. That's an Urborg.
Cool. Yeah, I'm a little behind, so I can't see that yet. I'm assuming you do.
Yeah. So Mink has drawn an Urborg. Is pondering whether to cast the Hordling Outburst or the hold up the Colligans command. And really, at this point, you don't need any more mana, do you?
No. You just, I don't know.
Oh, chooses to sacrifice a goblin to be able to hold up the Colligans command anyways. That's...
Yeah, I don't know if I understand this line. I think in Mink's position, I would have just gone for the Recruiter. The worry that they probably have is like a damnation of some variety and being locked off of casting their cards. But I think it is the play to win line there. As we know, Bailite doesn't have anything that can do that sort of thing in their hand. It is a capability their deck does possess, but I think you just get your Recruiter down and just say, hey, have it. But they're opting for another draw here. We're going to see a Shriekmaw. The Shriekmaw should blow up the Spirit Prospector. We're not.
That's a Zeta Wayfinder finding
I think
a
we will see. Yeah, I think we'll see a Shriekmaw get played post this action. I'm a delay a little bit.
Of course. Okay.
Yeah, the Skirk Prospector I think needs to go. That's represents a lot of mana, which is very dangerous.
What are your thoughts on getting a basic swamp when there's an Urborg in play?
I think it's wrong.
The fetch land could tap for black mana to begin with. So I think that was a misplay.
Well, I mean, or it's just they're used to playing their deck and they just weren't paying attention to Urborg being in play. Yeah, slight misplay, but it's not that big of a deal, I don't think. Their mana is pretty good, so. Well, there's a Wasteland, so that can at least take them off of their Woodland Cemetery if that's so desired. I think you just go for it here. I think it is correct, too. You can also, this command is also kind of interesting. So we're going to have a long sequence here. I am not going to tell you how this is going to be piled, but my guess would be on the very top of the pile will be a Goblin Ringleader, and then we'll see likely a large amount of boards and other card advantage cards. Probably some removal cards. Also against this deck, I would like getting an effect like Goblin or Sling Gang Lieutenant, or like you can't get Judith, but like Sling Gang Lieutenant, because then if they blow up the board, like they lose like 10 life and you gain 10 life or whatever.
So the sequence is Ringleader, Clamor Shaman, Fodder Launcher.
Not yet. So right now they're not choosing the sequence. They're not choosing the sequence. They're actually just choosing the cards. This is a weird card, the way this card resolves. So they choose all of the cards first, and it can be like as many goblins as are in your deck. And then after you've chosen the cards, you have to put them in order.
Oh, okay.
So, and your opponent doesn't know the order they're in. They know the cards you got, though. So the way it's worded this way is because like your opponent's going to know, like, hey, they got all this stuff. And then what they don't know is the order that it goes in. My guess would be the Ringleader will go top, but right now they're just picking the cards out. This card resolves kind of awkwardly. It's just an old card. Very powerful one.
Very powerful effect, I must say.
It's a very powerful effect if you're playing a bunch of cards that are not independently that powerful, right? So it's like it's a kind of cost to it.
And as you said, Sling Gang Lieutenant comes in at as a last-minute choice.
Bailite does make an interesting observation. He's going to Gonti the top of the deck and probably give Mink some worse cards on the top of their deck, right? Not the cards they were looking for, because Gonti will take those cards. You saw
interesting to put the Sling Gang on the bottom of the pile.
Yeah,
I really think it would have been somewhere towards
the
middle.
You can cast it all because it's Skirk Prospector. But the problem that's going to happen here, like I was just talking about, and Bailite was just kind of mentioning, is Gonti. Gonti is going to screw up how this progresses, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it'll take the cards that are going to draw cards, i.e. the Ringleader, the Incinerator, off the top of the deck, and then you'll just be drawing, whatever is 4 below that. I believe it's 4 cards.
Incinerator was put in the middle of the pile.
Well, that could be good then. The Gem Palm Incinerator, because it cycles. The thing is, this hand...
He's doing a lot of undoing here.
Yeah. It's not a fast card to resolve. So for the viewers at home, be patient. This card is very slow. Very slow. But oftentimes, if you get this card early, you win a lot of games with Goblins because the card's very, very good and it gives you a lot of flexibility. But like I said, I think there's still some play left in this game because of Gonti pretty specifically. Gonti will muck up what Mink is trying to do by getting rid of the Ringleader, which is probably the most relevant card that they're on right now. So we'll see. We also have the Wasteland here. I don't think you Wasteland here. Of note, the Urborg is going to be a cost because you could Wasteland your opponent off double black, which would keep them off of Damnation Mana or Gonti, but the Urborg's obviously fixing them, so there is that. I do think you just Wasteland the Woodland Cemetery here, or the Veil, whatever that card is, the Cycling Plains Forest, just to keep them off of double color Rex.
Gossamet makes a point. Gossamet on tech here, not mic'd up at the moment. Thoughts on getting a combo? And is there any combo Goblin lists? Is this one of them?
Well, this deck isn't... Goblins is just a high synergy aggressive deck. To my knowledge, there's not really a combination you can set up with all Goblins cards off Goblin Recruiter. Like not all of them have like Goblins just written on them. In a way, this is kind of a combo because they would draw Ringleader next turn and essentially set up... You could set up like basically an Aristocrat style combo, which is just like, sacking things to do damage or life loss with like a Slinging Lieutenant. Or damage off like Reckless Bushwhacker. So, I wouldn't call it a combo, but there's a Bushwhacker. So you can actually remove a threat and then Bushwhack if they wanted to. They may just wait, which I don't think is wrong. Although, no, you probably wait here. This is an awkward spot. Like, that Gonti really did muck him up. Mucked him up pretty good.
Sacrificing
you could
the
also,
Goblin Ringleader.
Yeah, and then he's going to Kolaghan's
cast
Command
it again.
Yeah, he's going to Kolaghan's Command it back and then reset up his top deck. To basically un-Gonti himself. Now, I do think that Bailite took the wrong card there. I think you want to take the Bushwhacker from that pile. It's not going to get you Goblins, but it's 2/2 haste. I don't know. Maybe he's trying to race. I don't think his deck has to race, though. I think you take the card that has the highest upside to muck you. So we see this thing get cast again. I also think removing the Satyr Wayfinder was probably better than just a random card in hand, too.
Yeah.
There, just to keep a blocker off the board, because it's going to be about, I think, one big turn, especially with the Bushwhacker in hand, which is a buff spell for all of your things. Yeah. I'll be curious to see how it plays out here. I just still going to be the Goblin. The Goblin Ringleader will still be top, I think, here. I think that's the first card you want to hit. Get a Lightning Crafter over there. That's a hell of a card right there. Hell of a magic card.
Gosmit points out Kiki Jiki plus Lightning Crafter.
Yeah, you could do that. Yep, that's a way to combo if you want to. But it also relies on you playing two pretty bad cards in your aggressive deck.
Is Lightning Crafter not a usual in Goblins?
I don't think you see it all the time anymore. It's a 4-mana spell, right? It's competing with quite a bit. It does not have haste, so you're basically paying 4 mana for a 3/3, and it's also champion a Goblin or Shaman, which means that you have to have a Goblin or Shaman in play that will go into exile underneath it. You can also get blown out at instant speed. So, for instance, if you play a Lightning Crafter and try to champion a target Goblin and someone burns it out with a Lightning Bolt, your Lightning Crafter then just goes to the graveyard and you spend 4 mana for nothing. There's a lot of commitment to that card. But But you're not wrong. That is a combo you could run. You could run some sort of combo with that in the deck if you wanted to.
I'm trying to follow Gosmith here, and like, would it not be worth to have some kind of 2-card combo?
I don't think so. I don't think so, but I don't play Goblins regularly. I don't tend to think so, no. I think it just... Because drawing Kiki Jiki in your openers or like on turn 2 or 3 is just so bad.
Yeah.
Like, the card sucks in this deck. It's horrible. Like, and the other card's not good either. Like, it's a 4-mana card. It's a 3/3 that gets blown out by any removal. You know? Like, it gets not only blown out, it gets blown out hardcore. Like, it's basically a 2-for-1 removal spell at that point, right? Because you target, and then when the thing dies, it still exiles or champions that card, and then the card doesn't come back. It's like, why would I want to do that to myself? You know?
Yeah.
I wouldn't, but that's just me. I mean, someone could think it's great. Sorry, folks.
Well, in truth, it's just a way to speculate and pass the time while we are resolving this second
we have 2 Goblin Recruiter resolutions in one game. Which it's a very time intensive card for folks at home. That is one thing. I have oftentimes debated countering this when I did not have to counter it just to save time. Then the spiky side of me often does not. I'm like, all right, whatever. Have your fun.
Yeah.
You're dead next turn, or you're dead in 2 turns, or whatever. Old Goblin Recruiter. Cool old Kamigawa art, though. Actually, that wasn't Kami. It was Portal art. I'm sorry.
So now we once again ringleader on top.
Yeah. That's a card you generally put on top with these piles, because it draws you 4 cards. Yeah, it refills your entire hand against an attritional deck, which is good.
It's just how it is. And really, with all these 1/1s on the table.
Well, the Skirk Prospector is the problem, right? Because the Skirk Prospector just turns these tokens into mana.
Yeah.
And when you have cards in mana in Magic, it tends to be pretty good.
Yeah.
Cards in
exactly.
general economy of the game, when you have the ability to exploit them, turns out to be pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Yep. Kind of like Yawgmoth's Will in a Black Lotus. Except in Goblins, a much worse version of it, but similar idea.
Similar idea.
Yeah. I think we're going to see Shriekmaw get cast for full value here to kill the Skirk Prospector. I think that's the right play. I think
that would certainly put a damper.
I think I would have done it probably earlier, but that's just me. I mean, he was lower on cards, so the risk is a little lower, but card's very dangerous, especially with the board the way it is. So you could see is like trying to think of how he like keeps going with this. So we can definitely cast the Ringleader. Then we have access to 6 mana on board.
Oh,
7 mana on board.
Flashbacks of Venus Reclamation, getting the Liliana.
Okay.
Yeah.
Liliana knocks the last card out of hand, which is okay, I guess. It's not great.
Yeah, but also the last.
I'm sorry, it's that one.
Yeah,
I thought it was
and the one you're thinking of, both of them.
Yeah.
Because on the
couldn't see the bins from here. That makes sense. Yeah, Liliana, the Last Hope is relevant because it'll kill the Skirk Prospector. And the other one's just kind of like, yeah, whatever, knock the card out of their hand. It is going to tie them down on mana. So I like Bailite's position here. I think Bailite's not in a bad spot. It really depends on what Mink found on top of their deck, or was able to set up on top of their deck.
Yeah.
Yep. Prospector down. Sylvian's Reclamation, also a hell of a card. I don't think it's at its most powerful in Abzan. I think it's good in Abzan, but I don't think it's at its most powerful. In the unfair decks, it can do some degenerate stuff. Especially like fast bond decks, Lotus decks. Do some silly stuff with that card. It was one that was kind of underrated from that commander set initially. So here's our Ringleader.
Yeah.
And what do we find with it? We're losing one of them automatically to the Liliana, the Last Hope, I assume. I'm sorry, Liliana the Veil.
We have a Slither, a Goblin Slither, a Goblin Chief,
here.
a Legion Loyalist, and the Munitions Expert.
Yeah, they're trying to one-shot him, basically.
Seems like it.
And that's kind of what Goblins has got to try to do.
What is it that the Goblins letter does? I can't read.
Well, Goblin's letter is great. So Goblin's letter says, sacrifice a goblin, target creature. Any target creature gets +1/+1. So Goblin's letter can pump itself or pump other things. So like it can nullify whatever the Liliana targets, you can just turn into damage on another creature.
Yeah.
Which is a good top deck. Yeah, Goblins can really grind. The deck can really grind when it gets in these spots. Now I don't know if it's going to grind out of this because Bailite's deck is a very, very grindy deck. But it's also not impossible. I guess we can't see that. I was just thinking in my head, it's not impossible to see a price of progress upset this game, but there's no way they can draw price of progress unless they only put like 5 or 6 goblins on top of their deck.
They put way more than that.
Yeah,
and
I assume they did, yeah.
my concern as well, because without extra red mana, Mink won't be able to Goblin Chief and Legion Loyalist in the same turn.
Yeah, well, I mean, he made this play with the assumption that the Scourge Prospector would still be in play, right? Although, given the fact that I couldn't see the graveyard and Mink could, I couldn't see Bailite's graveyard from my position. I did not know they had access to Savine's Reclamation with 2 walkers that dealt with that thing. So that may have been a play pattern that could have been known by Minksterella. That said, I think he probably just pitched the Legion Loyalist here. Look to use removal plus Sledder on this next turn to knock out the Liliana the Last Hope and or possibly some onboard advantage creatures. All right, we know we're drawing removal, and we have
discarding the cheat. What? Discarding the cheat.
Yeah, Chief's reasonable too because it's not mana efficient.
Yeah, okay.
But it is big. It is quite big. Sledder will probably die to this. 1 second, bud. Hey, Dad, I'm going to call. Yeah. Yeah, I'm back, bud.
I think something that you should not scoff at throughout this entire process is that Bailite, since like turn 4, I think, has been consistently sculpting his draws every
Bailite's
turn.
probably going to win this game. This one specifically.
Oh, and no man.
I'm not saying I don't think Mink's very advantaged here. But I think it is possible to win.
Lowman, you saw Gosmit's message?
No, I'm watching the stream. I can jump back and see what they're saying.
we could hear what you were saying.
Oh, I'm sure you could. Yeah, I got visitors down here, and they're fucking old.
Okay.
And got some family down right now. It's fucking great.
Okay.
That's kind of why I couldn't watch the finals yesterday. I was out visiting my daughter and whatnot. So, life things.
Yeah,
they're old. They want attention.
Sometimes
you guys are all fucking young. You guys are all fucking young. I
is a good thing
now, huh? No, you guys are all young. I'm like 35, so it's like fucking Christ, man. You get older, it's fucking something.
Yeah.
All right, what we got? Blow this thing up. Cool.
Blow the Corsa up. Full swing or?
Yeah, you full swing here and try to use the Sledder to remove what's relevant. The Sledder mucks up the math here. The Sledder mucks up the math. That's how you do it.
Attackers against old Liliana.
Yeah, you got to knock them out.
So
you have to attack with
all
all actually.
Attacks against new Liliana except a couple.
Yeah, you send 3 and 3. Let them choose which one they want to keep. Then use the Sledder to take out one of them.
Wasn't that 4 and 2 instead of 3 and 3? It seemed like
I don't know. It could be 4 and 2. He could really. So I guess if you 4 and 4, if you 4 and 2, you basically take the decision out of their hands. Is what the option is here.
So see, yeah, new Liliana goes down to 1, and old Liliana goes down to 3. But of course, a few sacks from the
we'll finish them off.
from the sledder make sure that's not how it's gonna go down.
Yeah, we'll knock out new Liliana. Probably knock out. Well, you could leave the old Liliana, possibly. The problem is the sledder's gonna die here.
Sack all attackers on old Liliana to kill off Bailite's board.
Well, okay. Yeah.
That's what's happening, and I don't think I explicitly like how this turned out.
I don't think it's the worst. I think it puts you like Liliana the Veil is not that big a problem. The problem is, I mean, you don't know he has Shriek Maw, but he's gonna have Shriek Maw, and Shriek Maw is gonna deal with the Sledder, which is the problem card. And once Sledder's dealt with, and you've got Grimflayer on board, you're pretty well, and you're in a good position. The Goblin War Chief is going to be problematic though, because it in combination with, I guess you can't draw 2 red though. You can only War Chief or you can Legion Loyalist. The Legion Loyalist probably is the play on the following turn, though, because it gives first strike and allows you to use the Sledder if it lives somehow to muck up combat. No, you're probably boxed into. You're boxed into playing the War Chief. It's just not a good spot.
We have unfortunately skirted the problem of a dual victory for this. With
Arakasi got eliminated.
Background SecretPipesman winning over Arakasi 2-0.
Alrighty.
So we won't have a fight off at the end.
Yeah.
Yep. Head down into the worst possible matchup.
Yeah.
Feels bad.
What are you playing?
Citadel Storm.
Yeah, it's not good.
No.
It's not a good one. Not a close one.
Tempo with counterspells and free counterspells and
not so hot. So Sledder goes to the way of the bin here, and that should be well. What's the top deck? The interesting question is, what's the top deck? I would not be shocked if we see Liliana down tick here to just knock on a Goblin, -2. Reason being, it allows you to leave up Assassin's Trophy for the next play. Or they could just hit a land and force them to shuffle so they don't have Goblins on top anymore with the Assassin's Trophy, which would be kind of a funny play.
Bailite is currently trying to pay Surge cost.
Why post combat?
Surge is an alternate casting cost from hand.
Yeah. I think there's a couple options here. I think you downtick Liliana and kill a Goblin, putting her to 3 and leaving up Assassin's Trophy, or you Assassin's Trophy one of Minksterella's lands to shuffle their library and get rid of the creatures on top of it they've selected, they've tutored directly for, and you uptick the Liliana to knock a resource out of hand. I actually don't mind either option either. I think those are probably the right lines for my position, just looking at it. But
yeah. Boot to the head. Do you have any pairings? Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, my mic's on. Yeah, I lost 2-1. Paranundrox got it.
Yeah. I've
so we are going to see the sack and then leave up a trophy here. All right, Crater Maker. Yeah, I think you pack this one in. I think you're pretty dead here. That's not going to do it. Not going to do anything. Well, like I was saying, I think an interesting alternate line would have been Assassin's Trophying like the Herbor, for instance, to shuffle the library and then like Liliana down or uptick to knock a card out of hand. I think it would have been probably just as good. Crater Maker, okay.
So right here, do you up or down take on the Liliana?
I'm a little behind. I probably Probably down tick.
Getting rid of that 1/1
Yeah,
goblin.
just chop the resources up. Just chop the resources up. You've got removal. You've got more cards in the form of Sylvan Library. You're winning on the board.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we've
Just
got
keep
an
winning on the board.
Assassin's Trophy on the
Loyalist.
goblin that can blow things up. What's it called?
That's Crater Maker, but I wouldn't target
Crater
that one
Maker.
because
So
that one
I
can't
think
be
he's
used.
gonna follow it up with a Reckless Bushwhacker.
Sure.
Try to swing him for close to lethal.
I don't know if I care for the trophy line here. Because this thing's just going to sack, and they're not going to get the land, so they won't shuffle their deck. Yeah, they're going to blow up the 3/2. Makes sense.
Yeah.
And this puts them on a 2-turn clock. Yeah. What gets Mink out of this? So, like, one of the things that Mink... No, I guess this doesn't work. They don't have enough non-basics land or on board. So you can let them shuffle and then, like, try to hit Price of Progress. That wouldn't do it, though.
Yeah, no.
I can't think of lines that get them out of this. I think they're just dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're just very dead.
That's it. That's a concede. And wait, wasn't this the... Huh.
It wasn't Surge, so it didn't do lethal.
No, but I thought this...
that was game one. That was a very long game because we had two Goblin Recruiters get cast.
Ah, yeah, that's why.
Yeah,
this
very
is
long
still
game.
game 1?
Game 2 now.
Yeah, but that was a long one.
All right. Well, I like Mink's hand now. I think this is a handy keep. Bailite's is also very good. It's got a lot of 1-mana interaction, which is going to be pretty solid. The duress probably the worst of it, but it's going to hit something in this hand at least. I think in general, yeah.
Do you lead with the duress or the Thoughtseize?
Duress in this matchup for me. You have removal in hand already. I like duress because I don't think it has equity as the game goes on. I think it loses equity pretty fast. Plus, if you're trying to set up for this cam ball, especially on turn 3, and you don't want to have to use Karakas to back it up, I think I like using the duress first because, yeah, as we can see, it's not going to matter that much. You take the threat. Yeah, they take the threat as opposed to the interaction. Mink wants to use their interaction to really just buy time for on-board advantage. So taking away the threat makes a lot of sense to me there. Like, the removal in Mink's deck can go downtown, but, like, it's not likely to do exceedingly well that way. It's just the deck's not set up to be a burn deck, you know?
Top decks, this Grenzo. So
yeah,
do you develop your board or do you just get rid of it because it's a threat?
I'm sorry. Oh, you mean like on Bailite's side?
Yeah, from Bailite. Do you?
Yeah, I think I just Swords to Plowshares. I Karakas it because it's a legend. I bounce it, and then I probably leave up Swords to Plowshares. Just me. Yeah. Because you have Karakas in hand, so why, it's a legend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or they can just find Swords to Plowshares and allow the Grenzo to hit them again. I don't think the cards that Mink's finding are really going to benefit them that highly, but we'll see. Maybe. I don't think you waste your Swords to Plowshares on something you can use Karakas on. Oh, that's an uncastable card.
That's what he's doing. Maybe he's not realizing it's a legend.
It's possible, or you just really want to get the next land drop in so you can use Karakas to protect the Kembal on the following turn.
Draws a green Sun Zenith. That's gonna change things up, I think.
This one's gonna be fast. This is not gonna be a very close one. This game's pretty over. From our position, I mean, like Mink's not gonna know that. He's not gonna see here, but like the hand that Bailite's got, especially knowing that there are multiple removal spells that are just gonna randomly gain life, is gonna make this very tough.
Yeah.
Because even if you cast your bolt to get them to bounce here, you're this is not good. Cast a Krankos command, you get drained for 2, they go up 2. Pretty bad. No, I can't think of ways of getting out of this very easily. I guess you crank Ghost Command and hope to set up a Mountain next turn, hit the Goblin Chieftain, get Mountain Walk, and then hit another land to be able to use Castle Embereth. Plus, yeah, I don't know. It's not good.
Yeah.
Now the Green Sun Zenith will get what here?
4 mana. That could
Siege
be
Rhino.
Siege
Just
Rhino.
Just get a Siege Rhino. I think I'd even let my opponent bolt the Cannonball here. I'd just tap out for it, let them bolt it. If they want to take 2 life loss, it's
chooses
fine.
not to do do 4 x equals 4 instead opting to do 3 for the kitchen things.
It's fine. I think I like getting the Trampler just to end the game, close the game on a little better.
But like Bailite isn't trying to end the game. He's trying to stay alive.
Well, I don't think he's that close to being dead though. Right, and Siege Rhino does the same thing. So if your opponent casts Bolt on Cannonball, yeah, you kind of lost a little bit of value not having Caracas up, but you drain them for 2 because they cast a Bolt on it. You lost a 2/3, which really isn't getting through anyways. It can be blocked pretty effectively on board. And you have a 4/5, which is going to trade from, well, that was a hell of a draw. That's 2 lands, basically. So you slam a Gobbo, I guess. I mean, you're going to drain for 2 off of it. So you drain for 2. So Bailite up to 16, Mink down to 18. Cast the Chieftain out here. Make your stuff big.
But doesn't attack?
Doesn't have a good attack.
Not even with the
tokens,
the Goblin?
I don't think that's a good attack. I mean, you just trade with 1/2 of the Finks, and you give them a look at another land. I don't think that's a good attack. I think you wait until the next turn when you can use Forked Bolt to get rid of the Finks.
Okay.
What we know that they don't know is that his opponent's got duress, so they're going to lose the Bolt. They keep the Forked Bolt, which will deal with 1/2 of the Finks. Probably just going to see a grapple with the past, binning a creature that you can unearth and then try to unearth it. And then have the additional black mana, so I guess that doesn't work. They'll save the grapple. I think I probably would have cast grapple main phase there just to see if I could find a creature to play. Just get some more presence down. Bailite's opted to play it pretty slowly. Skirk Prospector, it's a magical card. It's not a good one, but it's a magical card. Get this thing down. Yeah, probably just Forked Bolt the Finks out of the way, I guess. I guess you could make an attack here and then see if they block. I mean, they're just going to bounce with the Cannonball, right? But if the Cannonball takes some damage, you can force them to bounce it back so that it turns off Gaia's Cradle and forces them to re-tap out for the Cannonball at some point, which is not unreasonable. And then maybe if you hit a mountain, you can, power up this Castle Embereth and do a bunch of damage to them on the following turn, but you're going to lose 2 creatures doing it. Yeah. I don't think this is very winnable from Mink's side. Or if it is, it takes like a board clear this turn using the Forked Bolt or board bounce, like kill the Finks, then bounce the Cannonball, and then like just nail the shot on Price of Progress with an Alpha on the following turn.
He goes in with the Goblin Guide and only the Goblin Guide.
Yeah, it's just gonna be blocked by Finks. Yeah,
but gets blocked by Finks, then Forked Bolt 1/1.
Yeah, but it's 1/1, but it's really like 1+1 life on Bailite. Yeah. It kills the Finks, but Bailite goes up to 19, basically.
Yeah, and this is way too much life.
I was going to say, Cannonball based on his hand was very good. I don't think Cannonball is that great in this matchup, but based on his hand, was quite strong. Fix their top deck, get rid of those Findhorn Elves, probably get back the Knight of Autumn, either blow up the Mana Crypt or make a 4/3. Honestly, all the modes on Knight of Autumn are good here. I don't think there's a bad mode on it right now. Gets back Finks. I can see killing the Mana Crypt, though, just take them off of a little bit of mana. Yeah.
I was not expecting this, but this is actually the last match going.
Oh, I thought... would. Bailite's deck's not very fast. It's very controlling.
No, but, the games where Mink would win, I expected to go quicker.
They have to go fast. Yeah, you don't want this game to go long. If you're on Mink's side, you got to go quick. Oh, that's not a bad one to pick up. I don't think it changes much though. Probably just attack with the 2 tokens, right? And then see if maybe next turn you can hit like a... All right, they're going to attack with the Scourge Prospector. I think there's a chance maybe you want to save the Scourge Prospector just in case you draw like... One of your better outers is like probably Siege Gang Commander. That could definitely change the race.
Good top deck for Bailite, a Vindicate to get rid of one of the commanders.
Yeah, one of the kings. Yeah, definitely not a bad one. Shrink him down a bit. At some point, Bailite will need to find the time and space to start attacking, though. I think I would get back to Autumn and just attack that Mana Crypt. I mean, maybe try and use the Mana Crypt as a win con.
Not that this is how Magic should be decided, but Mink is down on time.
Yeah, he's down to 4 minutes and 42 seconds. That's what multiple recruiters will do to you.
Yeah. So
all in attack. All right, we're gonna force a bounce here on the Arakasi, I suppose. I don't know if Bailite intended. I mean, I guess he just blocks. You can't bounce it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna lose 1 Gobbo, 1 Finks, and then Kambal will get bounced based on this Ambreath kicking off here. Could let it die too. I mean, could. Doubt they will. Yep. Bounce it. We got Unearth to bring back the Finks again. Finks has come back into play quite a few times this game.
Just keeps coming back.
Yep.
This will be, what, the 5th?
Yeah.
And then Unearth, and then, what's it called?
Grapple? Grapple with the past?
No, yeah, but what's the keyword?
Persist.
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 What? First one and persist. Grapple with the past, persist, then this.
Yep.
And that's just too much life.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think unless, like, if Mink were to draw pretty specifically Price of Progress, they could probably close this out somehow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But as it is, that's Bailite winning in 3. Yeah?
Well, hey guys, hope you enjoyed it. That looks like it's going to be the end of the event. Our pair down Arakasi did indeed lose to on Storm, lost to Tempo, Xerox Tempo. And we kind of got to see Goblins fight against kind of more of a classic, I think, for the event. Like if you look at the origins of this event, Bailite has Bailite is a very heavy Abzan player, but I think they did very well with Abzan in the first season of the event, especially early. And it's kind of cool to see Abzan come back again and do some good work. Is more of a controlling mid-range deck in the format. And also cool to see the Goblins deck do its thing. But tougher matchup, I think, for the Goblins deck there, especially if it gets outside of turn 3 or 4. They really start getting their kind of engine going on the Abzan side. But definitely cool to turn them all together. I'm glad you guys could have me.
Yeah.
And can we expect the Red Mage to be back next week? And we're going to be running next week.
This week was supposed to be Red Mage was back, but got emergency extended, and so we hope, God willing, that next week the Red Mage will be back.
Well, sweet, and at least regardless if TRM will be back or not, I think you guys are launching next week, so we'll have more powerful Magic at that point in time. Yeah. If this is your first time viewing Canadian Highlander, definitely jump in, guys. It's very easy to get in. You see all the stuff going up right now for Discord. Jump in there. Folks talk about the game. You can sign up for this tournament or other tournaments that are run over the Discord that are player run, on MTGO. Very, very fun format. You kind of get to play whatever it is that you enjoy in Magic. And so do other folks. So very, very cool format. You still there, bud?
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, just checking. Yeah, I was handing it back off to you. I was like,
sorry. I am writing down the pairings to save. So
gotcha.
TRM can do his thing and his magic statistics.
Where do we
when
stand
he gets
right
back.
now?
Sorry.
So I haven't been. No, it's okay. I haven't really been as involved in this season.
Yeah.
Busy with other stuff in life. Where are folks standing right now? How's it looking?
Our I will get out the standings.
You're crunching the numbers.
Here. We have
no. Generally, just over the season so far as it stands.
Yeah,
I think you got a couple of bets in since the
then
finals.
I'll have to pull up that spreadsheet. I really am not on top of any.
Oh,
of
no problem.
this.
No problem. Yeah, no, it's okay. I was just asking. I wasn't sure if you were doing it normally. I'm just looking at some of the stuff I've kind of seen randomly, kind of perusing. It looks like Xerox and Academy have been doing pretty well.
So Blahguy the first week won alongside with SecretPipesman on Xerox, both going undefeated and both getting that win bonus.
Yep.
And,
so yeah, I got it from Gosmith.
And really, like, I haven't filed last week yet. Can anybody remember?
Yep.
No. But this will certainly put SecretPipesman into a leading position, having had a 1 week win and a second week second position.
Yeah,
so
that's kind of what I saw.
That's just off the top of my head. I think SecretPipesman is in the lead currently with 4-color Xerox.
Okay, so blue decks are pretty good in Eternal. Yep. Good to hear. Well, hey guys, do you need me for anything else, bud, or no? I'm probably going to head out. I really enjoyed being able to jump in with you guys, and I hope you guys had fun.
That is it for today. So you can jump out if you want to. We're just gonna.
All right, take it easy now.
Tell everybody to come back next week for more powerful magic, and that's it. That's it for this week. Lucas with Gosmith in the tech booth, signing out.